Hi, welcome back. Thanks for watching another video. I had a plan to do a grocery haul and meal prep demonstration or whatever for you to kind of show you what I do in a week to just keep my meals healthy and try to consistently make some weight loss happen. And then something interesting happened on Thursday. I was kind of overwhelmed. I was studying in my primary care pediatrics class and we got into the math for medications for kids. It's not super complicated. Basically, all dosing for kids is done based on their weight. But we had a couple kind of challenging questions and I just felt really worried and nervous and overwhelmed, and I ended up having a mini binge session. So since that happened, I thought maybe it would be a good opportunity to sort of use that to talk about mindset and how to deal with eating disorder or disordered eating, and to try not to let or to learn how not to let that sort of totally derail your whole plan. So what happened was I decided to have a piece of chocolate, and then that turned into 3/4 of a large bar of chocolate, and then I was really hungry. So I started eating hummus and pieces of lavash, basically. So I ended up eating 3 individual hummus packs with, I don't know, 2.5 of those square, rectangular lavashes. And I essentially had to stop eating because I felt sick to my stomach. I started feeling really terrible about myself. I was thinking, oh my God, I've just eaten so many calories. And I decided to plug it in to Chronometer, and if I'm able to figure out how to put that on the screen, then I'll show you in the video. But I ended up putting it in, and it was like, I don't know, 700 calories, and I hadn't eaten lunch, so it wasn't even that crazy. And then once I realized that it wasn't even really that big of a deal, aside from being uncomfortable and it not being the choices that I wanted to make, I ended up just going for a little bit of a walk to try to offset some of the calories. And then I had dinner later on, and at the end of the day, my calories were like 21 or 2,200 calories. My goal is 1,800 to 2,100, so it wasn't even that far off of what I want to typically do in a day. I'm 5'8.5", so I feel confident that I can eat 2,000 calories and not gain weight, especially since I work out most days. So the reason I wanted to bring this up was because I definitely struggled with some significant, very noticeable binge eating patterns about 2 years ago, now a year and a half, 2 years ago. They peaked in January of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And I can remember I was doing home care nursing at the time, and I was eating in private. I was binging in the car, basically. I hadn't really dealt with the loss of my husband at that point. He died of cancer, and I was in a pretty tough place emotionally. I got through the holidays, but just barely, and I was drinking too much, and I had basically was just doing whatever I needed to do to comfort myself during that really difficult time. So the binge eating at that time, though, it got really insane. I mean, I can't even believe how much food I was physically able to put into my body without me vomiting. It's shocking. At that time, I ended up seeking some treatment from a mental health professional. And that is probably another story for another day, what I ended up doing to help myself sort of just arrest the immediate behaviors. And then, afterwards, I ended up starting to explore plant-based eating, and it really helped to sort of calm down that crazed binge eating. But it never really went away. And last year, before I really focused and honed in on the whole food plant-based eating, and sort of the year before that, I was doing a lot of, intermittently I was trying to diet because I gained so much weight during this binge eating. I mean, like 40, 50 pounds, so much weight. So what I ended up doing was I was intermittently trying to low carb diet. And every time I did it, I lost like, 15 pounds pretty quickly, but it triggered some severe anxiety. And at one point, I even literally stopped sleeping. And then I would end up binging again because I wasn't eating enough and I wasn't satisfied. So cut to last year in March, I decided enough was enough. I was tired of being so heavy. I really just wanted to be healthy. My triglycerides were 500. Basically, I kind of started looking kind of shitty with my health. So I initially just started by following several YouTubers and just decided to eat like they eat. And then eventually I sort of fell into more starch-based eating and lower fat based, plant-based eating. During that time, I had almost a complete reversal or arresting of that binge eating disorder behavior. And then Thursday, I was stressed out and it happened again. And in the past, I would have thrown in the towel, said, this is it, I can never do this, I'm never going to be able to lose weight, I'm never going to be able to stay healthy. But instead, I reminded myself that even though it can happen sometimes, it's not the end of the world. It didn't even derail my day as much as I thought it did. And I took a little walk and I felt better. And the next day I got back on track, and today I'm still on track. And actually I weigh myself every day and it didn't even have any impact on my weight at all. It was really kind of surprising and really put things into perspective. I feel like the most important part of this whole journey really is mindset and letting go of the all in, all out thinking. It's been the only way that I've been able to maintain this weight loss. And I mean, I didn't even gain any weight over the holidays, even though I was drinking more and eating a lot of high fat vegan junk food. This is the first year ever that I didn't gain weight over the holiday season. I think it's really remarkable. Just that small little change in attitude where I decided that it's okay that it happened. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. There's going to be times when I overeat. It's hard to walk away from a lifetime of coping with stressful situations with food. It's a big deal. And, it's hard to walk away from that. But the rest of the time I'm just fine and I'm still losing weight. I think it's just huge. And I wish that I could I want to share this with everyone because it makes such a big difference. I also learned from the experience. I probably shouldn't have Costco-sized packages of individually packaged hummus. I like hummus a lot. I find it really easy to eat. I like bread a lot. Probably shouldn't keep that much. So what I ended up doing was sticking all the rest of the hummus in the freezer in the basement. That way, if I want hummus, I have to sort of think about it. I'm going to have to let it thaw. I'm not going to be able to make a heat of the moment decision to just crush through as many as I can fit in my stomach. I think that this is really just the biggest game-changing advice. At least it did really change the game for me. And I really hope that by sharing this, I can sort of help you guys make the same small little shifts that make such a big difference. So on that note, I think I will probably wrap it up. We'll be back next week with hopefully a more well-planned what I eat in a day or some sort of meal prep or recipe. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences with some disordered eating and how plant-based eating has helped you gain some perspective or change your mindset and how you go about doing things. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at Carly Eats Plants, where I have lots of beautiful food. And I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.